Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today. We're going to talk about understanding Wi-Fi and what Wi-Fi actually is, what the pieces are that you actually need. This is something that we get questions on, and we see questions quite a bit, and some of the forums that we're in, and a lot of people have misconceptions around Wi-Fi and what it really is and what it isn't. And so we're going to clear some of that up today and help you understand if you're setting up Wi-Fi in your home or in your office, really what do you need, and how does it all work? So benefits of understanding it, knowing exactly what it is you need, what you're talking about, being able to get the best equipment for the best price, making sure you're not buying stuff you don't need, or things that don't really apply to your situation. And sound smart in front of your friends. This is something that you'll be able to talk to them about and help them, so they don't waste their money or time buying things that won't really help them out. So it's important to understand what Wi-Fi really is, and part of the misconception is caused because generally we use the term Wi-Fi to mean not only Wi-Fi but also internet. So it's important to understand that Wi-Fi is not actually internet. Okay. Now, when we talk about Wi-Fi, generally we are talking about Wi-Fi and internet. We're assuming that the internet is there, because Wi-Fi without internet is not really valuable most of the time. And so what we have in our society, we go to a restaurant, we say, hey, do you have Wi-Fi here? What we're really saying is, hey, do you have Wi-Fi plus internet? And it's just understood when we use the word Wi-Fi. So really we use the term Wi-Fi to mean more than it really does in a lot of situations. But then when it comes down to actually putting something together, building out a Wi-Fi network and getting internet to it, it's important to understand what the different pieces are and what the terms really mean in order to get the right thing. So if we look at Wi-Fi, it all starts with what's referred to as a router, okay? And this is a device that sends out a wireless signal, and it allows you to connect different devices to a network. And so the reason that you set up a network is to allow these devices to talk to each other and also to share resources to these devices. So you think about having a printer, you set up that printer on a network with a bunch of computers. All those computers can then use that printer to print. So networks are built to share resources, and in a Wi-Fi environment, the Wi-Fi router is what all of these things connect to build that network. Now, this in and of itself does not have internet, and it's not connected to the internet. To just have a bunch of devices connected to a Wi-Fi router without having a specific internet connection, which usually comes in the form of a modem from an internet provider. Okay, so going out and getting an internet provider, that is what provides internet access to your Wi-Fi router, and that Wi-Fi router then in turn shares that resource of an internet connection with all of the devices on the network. So you really need both of those pieces, something that acts as a Wi-Fi router as well as the internet modem, in order to connect your computer over Wi-Fi to the internet. Now, a lot of service providers actually have the modem and Wi-Fi built into one device, which also can further complicate the terminology. And so in a lot of setups, you'll just see one device that acts as both the modem and the Wi-Fi router. So the last thing I want to touch on are Wi-Fi extenders and mesh networks. So Wi-Fi extenders and mesh devices are additional pieces of equipment that you can get that will extend the range of your Wi-Fi signal. So you think about being in a house, you're going to have your Wi-Fi router somewhere in that house, and depending on the size of your house and the type of Wi-Fi router that you have, that one router might not be enough to cover your entire house. So these are two devices that you can get to extend the range of that signal. Okay, so there are pros and cons to each of them. Extenders create separate networks, which is the big difference between an extender versus a mesh device, whereas a mesh device will increase the range of the same network. So I'll explain what that means here. So here we've got a drawing of a house, and imagine you've got your Wi-Fi router set up in your living room here, and it covers the center of the house really well. But when you go into the bedrooms, you get a weak signal, you get slow downloads, slow videos loading, whatever it is you're doing. It has trouble because the signal isn't as strong. So if you put an extender over on the side of your house, what you do is you actually create two different networks. So that extender will grab your main Wi-Fi signal off of the Wi-Fi router, and then it will create its own network from wherever it is and share out that signal. So the downside to that is if you're in the bedroom, you would have to manually go into your device. If you're walking around with your phone, as an example, you'd have to go into your device and manually change the Wi-Fi network that you're on, because you'll potentially have some level of signal from the blue network here even into the bedrooms. It won't be very strong, it won't be very good, but with an extender, the extender and your device are not smart enough to automatically switch to that strong signal. So if you've got devices that are moving around your house or your office, it's going to be more manual work to constantly be switching back and forth between those networks. With a mesh device, it actually takes the signal and it replicates that same network. Okay, so and mesh devices are smarter than extenders in that a good mesh network that has multiple Wi-Fi routers or signal points, it's smart enough to know what router is going to give you the best signal and automatically switch your device for you to pick up a signal from that device. So you don't have to do anything. As you walk around your house with your phone, it's automatically going to move you to whichever device has the best signal. Now there's a cost to that functionality. When you look at extenders, the majority of extenders run between $30 and $60 to buy a single extender, where a mesh device is going to cost between $100 and $200 each. Now those are general prices. You might be able to find them for a little bit cheaper. You might see some that are a little bit more expensive, but typically those are the ranges of prices that you're going to see for extenders and mesh network devices. And you will see, if you look at mesh networks, a lot of them have packages where you can buy 2 or 3 or 4 devices in one package and get them a little bit cheaper. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. As usual, you can reach us at contact@beelinetechgroup.com if you've got questions or concerns. You can also drop comments down below and give us a like for the video, and we will see you next time. Thanks.